throne no crowd can stop Lord Chippy from burning them down. Justice ain't fast, justice ain't clean. It's a long, sharp road through the in-between. So raise your fists and light your flames. Chippy's coming and he don't play games.
Well, I mean, this is one granny you don't mess with because she allegedly prayed to the good Lord above, quote, "Guide my bullets like you guided David's rock." A woman said a prayer before shooting neighbor whom she believed was, quote, well, unaliving and assaulting people. As you do. A 64-year-old Minnesota woman allegedly said a prayer before taking the life of her neighbor because she thought the victim was unaliving and assaulting people and heard her digging graves in the basement, according to police officers. Ava Leone Knock, 64, stands accused of second-degree attempted murder and 2 counts of assault with a dangerous weapon, according to a probable cause arrest affidavit that deputies with the Winona County Sheriff's Office filed. Now, this happened around 10 p.m. on Tuesday for a call in Alba, a small town in southeast Minnesota. Now, a witness told deputies he was playing video games in his home when the victim called his cell phone and asked him to come outside. Now, when he walked up to the victim's car, the witness saw that she was slouched under the dashboard, and he noticed several bullet holes in the windshield and the driver's side door. As you do. The victim said she pulled her Jeep into the parking lot when someone started shooting at her. Now, bullet fragments had struck her eye and entered her brain. Her Jeep had been struck by multiple bullets at least 7 times. Now, police later learned that Koch lived in a nearby apartment. Now, deputies went over to speak to her, who was allegedly very cooperative. She claimed she heard noises from outside but didn't go to investigate. Now, police noted that there were 7 holes in the bathroom screen, which were roughly the size of bullet holes in the car, as you do. Now, on Wednesday, she called 911 and told dispatchers that she had tried to contact the FBI and wanted to talk to local police about possible homicides that were occurring in the area. She allegedly said when she moved into her apartment, the victim and the witness were already living in the neighboring unit. Now, the defendant told deputies she believed that the witness and victim were unaliving and assaulting people. She indicated she has heard them digging graves in the basement of their apartment and believes he has people and kids buried in there. Now, the defendant said that she had to intervene because the justice system wasn't doing anything to stop the witness and the victim's criminal behavior. Now, she said she didn't want to hear them anymore, so she grabbed her son's rifle and shot the victim's Jeep as she was pulling into the parking lot. Before shooting, she allegedly said a prayer along the lines of, "Guide my bullets like you guided David's rock," and fired 7 times because the number is referenced in the Bible several times. Okie dokie. After pulling the trigger, she told deputies she felt at peace and didn't care if the victim was injured, per the affidavit. Now, she allegedly hid the rifle behind her stove and put the shell casings in a potted plant in her living room. After obtaining a search warrant, police allegedly were able to recover both the shotgun and shell casings. Now, while they were investigating, the owner of a business next door to Koch's apartment told them that she came into the business about a month ago and said that the victim and witness were being very loud. She allegedly said she thought maybe the witness was assaulting the victim and she was going to try to figure out a way to take out the witness. Now, she was arrested and taken to Winona County Jail, where she remains on a $500,000 bond. On Friday, a judge ordered her to undergo an evaluation to determine whether she's even competent enough to go forward in her criminal case. But this definitely seems like there's a lot of mental health issues here, but also an acknowledgement of guilt because she did hide the weapon. So I don't know that she might not be found competent right now, but she probably will be found competent in the future. Possibly. But she couldn't meet this dude because, I mean, if this woman had to talk to Jesus about making sure her aim went well, she could have gotten this dude, but no, of course not. She gets an innocent person who she just doesn't like their loud music. Impulsive, I was right the first time, repulsive. impulsive man accused of SA, he claims, never happened, but the victim did want it to be over, and it seemed traumatizing, according to him. Now, a Missouri man is accused of SAing a woman last month, but claims that he never SA'd her. But when they would, have the sexual relations, the victim always seemed like she wanted it over and admitted it was traumatizing and one-sided when he talked to the police officers. Yeah, that is maybe not what you tell people, because that sounds like a crime. Remo Rooks, 38, of Clinton, is charged in Henry County with 2 counts of SA after the victim reportedly alleged the assaults to police last Wednesday. Now, the woman allegedly told police that Rooks, who admitted to cops that he's sexually impulsive. Also, where do you put that on your LinkedIn? Took advantage of her on July 31st at a private residence in Clinton, which is about 75 miles southeast of Kansas City. The extent of their relationship prior to that was unclear. Now, the victim stated that he SA'd her twice in the same day. The victim stated she told him no, and she didn't want to sleep with him. Now, Rima was taken into custody Wednesday and interviewed by police about what allegedly happened. Now, he did try to deny the allegations against him, saying that, the relations were consensual, but also admitted that it eventually felt one-sided, per his words. Now, Rima advised that he never SA'd the victim, but when they would sleep together, the victim seemed like she wanted it to be over, stating it seemed traumatizing for her. Yeah, sir, this is what we call admitting a crime. And then, to top it all off, he said, well, look, I'm just a little sexually impulsive. Well, seems like a good reason for you to be in prison, sir, because we can't have, sexually impulsive people outside. Now, he faces up to 14 years in prison and was behind bars Sunday on a $25,000 bond. And he does seem like he's trying to ask for his bond to be reduced today. So I'm not sure if that'll happen. And if the judge looks at any of this and sees, sexually impulsive, I'm going to hope that he just says, slam the door, lock the door, throw away the keys. Because I don't know. And then the final one. Now, women, I don't know, but if he asks you to kidnap his children, do not do that. That is what we call a felony. And he is not your boyfriend. He is a felon at that point. Paid the suspect to bring the children. A Texas woman has been arrested at a Chicago airport for trying to kidnap 2 children on the father's behalf and take them to Mexico. Yeah, don't do this. It's a bad idea. A Texas woman was recently arrested for trying to facilitate a pay-to-play, kidnapping of 2 children and have them sent to Mexico, according to law enforcement in Illinois. Cindy Sanchez, 47, stands accused of 2 counts each of kidnapping by deceit or enticement, unlawful restraint, and child abduction, parent without custody, according to the 16th Judicial Circuit records. I love that I can speak English just once in a while. Now, the defendant was caught this week at Midway International Airport with 2 children in tow, an 11-year-old and a 13-year-old. Now, responding officers arrived at a home on Rosewood Avenue in Aurora, a large suburban community located some 40 miles due west of Chicago, around 3:30 p.m. on Thursday in response to the family's concern about a possible double kidnapping. Now, officers arrived on the scene and learned that the 2 juveniles were staying with family at the time. An unknown female arrived at their home, stated that she needed to take the juveniles on their mother's behalf to the location out of the state. Now, as it turns out, those kidnapping fears were allegedly borne out. Sanchez allegedly left with both of the children, but the children's mother said she had never permitted anyone to take the pair anywhere. Law enforcement, enlisted the help of Chicago police to help track down the trio. Now, police say they found Sanchez and both of the children at Midway Airport. Now, the woman was arrested and both children were recovered safe and unharmed. The investigators uncovered, the alleged plot. Now, Sanchez is a resident of Fort Worth, Texas, the second largest of three major cities in the Dallas-Fort Worth-Arlington metroplex. The defendant was further identified as a relative of the children's father. It was learned that the children's father, who does not have legal custody of the children, paid the suspect to bring the children to him in Mexico via the Texas border. Now, Sanchez was arrested on Friday and detained at the Kane County Adult Justice Center. She was out of jail by Saturday morning after making a court appearance, resulting in a release order. Now, she is next slated to appear in court for a status hearing on September 18th. So again, this is extremely scary. I'm glad that they found these children before they were taken across, country borders and maybe would not have been found for a long time. But don't steal your children. Do it the legal way. Don't traumatize your children because you and your ex can't get together. Love your children more than you hate your ex. Look, I hated my ex for a long time and I had to pull my head firmly out of my behind because it's just not a good thing to do. So if I can recover from full-on cranial rectitis, I think the entire world can. But that's just my opinion.